Welcome to the next part of the class. From the last lecture we know about what are the meanings of hotness or coldness. Now in this lecture we will learn what is temperature. Temperature of any object can be defined as the degree of hotness or coldness of an object on some chosen scale. So an object appears hot if its temperature is higher than that of our body. On the other hand, an object appears cold if its temperature is lower than that of our body. So, what actually is meant by temperature? When we touch an object, it may appear hot or cold. For example, when you take an ice cream, it appears cold. And when, on the other hand, you sip a hot cup of tea or coffee, it appears hot. So, what actually makes things appear hot or cold? The sensation of hotness or coldness depends upon the direction of flow of heat. What does it mean? It means, point number 1, when heat flows from the object to our body, I repeat, when heat flows from that very object to our body, it appears hot to us. For example, when you are sipping a cup of coffee, heat is flowing from the liquid to your body, so it appears hot to you. On the other hand, when heat flows from our body to the object, then it appears cold to us. Like for example, when you are taking an ice cream, heat is flowing from our body to the object. Hence, it appears cold to us. Temperature scales are the different types of scales for the measurement of temperature. There are 3 temperature scales. They are number 1, Celsius scale. Earlier, it used to be called as centigrade scale. Number 2, Fahrenheit scale. Number 3 is Kelvin scale or absolute scale. Commonly, we use for temperature measurement the Celsius scale. Therefore, we will describe only Celsius scale in this chapter. The Celsius scale of temperature was designed by a scientist named Anders Celsius. On this scale, temperature is described in degree Celsius. The lower fixed point of this scale is taken as 0 degree and the upper fixed point is taken as 100 degree. So, the intervals between these 2 points is divided into 100 equal divisions. I repeat, the interval between these 2 points is divided into how many divisions? Yes, you are right, 100 equal divisions. Thus, each division on this scale corresponds to a temperature which is equal to 1 degree Celsius. Each or unit division on this scale corresponds to 1 degree Celsius of temperature. At present day, the clinical thermometer which is used by doctors is also marked on the Celsius scale. Here in this figure, you can see the graduated scale on the thermometer. Celsius scale, lower fixed point 0 degree Celsius, upper fixed point 100 degree Celsius. Each division equals 1 degree Celsius. Now we will move on with the laboratory thermometer. So inside the thermometer, the liquid used is mercury. As we can see in this figure, the laboratory thermometer, like the clinical one, is also made up of a glass body within which there is a fine, thin capillary tube carrying the liquid metal mercury. Here is the graduated scale, and it is the externally it is the glass body or the glass stem. At this end of the glass body there is a thin glass bulb. So a mercury thermometer commonly used in a laboratory is known as lab thermometer or laboratory thermometer. Please read and learn the description of this thermometer. Like, the capillary tube has a small thin bulb at its lower end. This bulb and a small portion of capillary tube remain filled with pure and dry mercury. The air in the portion of the tube above mercury is removed by evacuation, and then the upper end of the tube is sealed. The portion of the capillary tube above the bulb is called stem. It is graduated in degrees, usually from -10 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Such a thermometer can be safely used for measuring temperatures between 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the range of laboratory thermometer is taken as 0 degrees to 100 degrees Celsius. Now we will see why is mercury considered an ideal liquid for thermometers. Mercury is used in thermometers due to the following reasons. Number one, mercury is a shiny liquid metal and therefore it can be easily seen. Therefore reading becomes easy. Number two, mercury is such a material which does not stick to the glass. Number three, hence it expands and contracts uniformly with a rise and fall in the temperature. And number four, mercury freezes at -39 degrees Celsius and boils at 357 degrees Celsius under normal pressure. Therefore, it can be used over a wide temperature range. So these are the points that why mercury is used as the liquid inside a thermometer. It is because it's a shiny liquid, it does not stick to the glass, it expands and contracts uniformly, and it has a wide range from its freezing point to its boiling point. Now let us see what is the use of laboratory thermometer and what are the precautions to be maintained while we use laboratory thermometer. We can use laboratory thermometer to measure the temperature of any liquid, say water, while working in laboratory. So what should be the precautions While using a laboratory thermometer, following precautions should be taken. Number 1, thermometer should be held vertically, as you can see in this figure. Number 2, the bulb of thermometer should be well surrounded by the liquid or whatever is the substance whose temperature is to be measured. The bulb should be inside the liquid. Number 3, bulb should not touch the bottom or sides of the container, that is the beaker. Beaker is the glassware or glass container used for the purposes of laboratory. So while we are using the thermometer, it should not touch the sides of the beaker. It only should be dipped into the liquid. Next precaution, reading of temperature should be taken without taking the thermometer out of the liquid. Otherwise, the reading would have error in it. Next, the eye should be kept at the level of mercury thread. If we see closely, our level of the eye should be at the level of the thread of mercury. Then only the reading would be error free. The last point in the precautions, the thermometer should be neither be placed in very hot liquid nor in ice cold liquid. So these are the precautions that we should remember while we are using laboratory thermometer in lab. Let us learn about clinical thermometer, which is very common to us and we need it in our home. So a clinical thermometer, which is also called as doctor's thermometer, is used for measuring the body temperature of humans as well as animals. It has a narrow kink or constriction in the capillary tube just above the bulb. When the mercury expands from the bulb, it pushes through the kink, but when it is taken out of the patient's mouth or body, mercury does not go back to the bulb easily. So the doctor can read the patient's temperature easily. So this is a very important point, that due to this kink, once the mercury expands, it cannot go back to the bulb. After the reading is taken, the mercury can be brought back into the bulb by giving it a jerk. I repeat, after the reading has been taken, this mercury column can be brought back into the bulb before we take the next reading by giving it a jerk. So that is how we can use a clinical thermometer. Now the time for homework. Read the part taught and please learn the differences between laboratory thermometer and a clinical thermometer. Point number 1, a lab thermometer is much longer, whereas clinical one is shorter. Temperature range in case of laboratory thermometer is 0 to 100 degrees Celsius, whereas in clinical thermometer it is 35 degree to 42 degrees Celsius. So the range is less. The bulb in case of laboratory thermometer remains in contact with the substance, whereas in case of clinical thermometer we take the reading after removing away from the body. A laboratory thermometer is simple cylindrical whereas a clinical thermometer is designed to give magnifying effect to mercury column only at certain angle. It helps to take the reading because the reading is magnified in this way. In case of laboratory thermometer, the capillary tube is straight. It has no kink in it. While in case of clinical thermometer, capillary tube has a kink or constriction near to the bulb. It is helpful because we take the reading after removing the thermometer away from the body of the human or animals. So your today's homework is write and learn these points of difference. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.